All right, so we'll start by reading the prologue. And basically the prologue is an introduction to the play. It also tells you what's basically going to happen in the play. So see if you can understand any parts of this prologue. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. So see if you can understand line by line exactly what's happening in this poem. It's actually a sonnet. See if you can check out the rhythm of this sonnet and the rhyme in the sonnet as well. See if you can figure out where this play takes place, what happens, what's up with these two families, where does it talk about these two families in this sonnet, and how long is the play. See if you can figure that out as well. So we'll try to get through Act 1, Scene 1. I have to stop at 15 minutes. These videos can only be 15 minutes long. So I will see if I can read fast enough to get through the scene, although it looks very long. And I know it's weird to hear one person reading multiple parts in a play, but at least it will help you to understand it a little bit as I read it in voice. And also, hopefully it'll be a little bit better than just you reading it alone. So what you're going to see in Act 1, Scene 1 is friends of the Capulets and friends of the Montagues, so friends of Romeo, friends of Juliet. They are in the street right now, and Romeo's friends meet up with Juliet's friends and a fight starts. And what you'll see in this scene is the use of puns. So that was their humor. And is our humor even today, I think, using words that sound similar to other words to make jokes. So you're going to see Samson and Gregory making fun of each other right now about fighting and how they're easy to fight. You know, typical guy stuff, talking together, making fun of each other. And you'll see puns on the words coals, colliers, and collar. So if you look in your book, you should find notes on those words and what they mean and how they sound similar. And it's actually quite funny what they're making fun of each other about. And I will interrupt every once in a while to explain things as they're happening. All right. Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals. No, for then we should be colliers. I mean, and we being collar will draw. Aye, while you live, draw your neck out of collar. Well, I strike quickly being moved, but thou art not quickly moved to strike. So you can see them making fun of their fighting habits and how one is calling the other a chicken, basically. Well, a dog of the house of Montague moves me. To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away. A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's. Well, that shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall. So what they're talking about is how the weakest would walk against the wall, because if you walk against the wall, you're at risk of being covered in sewage. So people would throw out their garbage and waste out their windows, which is right next to the wall if you're walking down a street. So those people who walk next to the wall are at risk of being covered in this stuff. So he's saying he's going to push all of the Montagues, men and, well, women, he specifically says, to the wall. Which he's trying to show that he's a tough guy. He's going to push them to the wall so they get covered in the sewage and the garbage. And then you're going to see some sexual joking here as well. "'Tis true, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall." So there's a sexual joke. "The quarrel is between our masters and us their men. Well, it is all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be civil with the maids. I will cut off their heads." "The heads of the maids?" "Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt." The maiden heads is a reference to virginity, so again, more sexual joking. "They must take it in sense that feel it. Me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and it is known I am a pretty piece of flesh." So again, a lot of sexual joking right here, and you can look that up. I won't go into detail explaining it. "'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John." So now here come Abram and other serving men. "Draw thy tool. Here comes the house of Montagues." So they're going to start talking back and forth and trying to provoke one another into a fight. "My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee." So start a fight. I've got your back. "Well, how? Turn thy back and run?" "Fear me not. No, Mary, I fear thee. Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list. Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it." And then he bites his thumb, which is the equivalent of flipping someone off, essentially. So they're trying to provoke a fight. They don't want to get in trouble with the law by starting the fight, so they're trying to get them to start it. Although I guess it's arguable, is flipping someone off starting a fight or not? Or is the fight started by the person who throws the first punch? So that's what they're trying to do, get them to throw the first punch. So here are this other group of men. "Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?" "I do bite my thumb, sir." "Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?" And then in a whisper to Gregory, he says, "Is the law on our side if I say yes?" So he wants to know, is he still going to get in trouble if he says yes, he was biting his thumb at him? And Gregory says to him, "No." So he says, "No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir." "Do you quarrel, sir?" "Quarrel, sir? No, sir." "But if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you." "No, better." "Well, sir." So then here comes Benvolio. He's a peaceful guy, a peacemaker. He doesn't want to see any fighting between the two sides. So Gregory says in another whisper to Samson, "Say that you're better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen." And so he says, "Yes, better, sir." And Abram says, "You lie. Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy washing blow." And then they fight. Some of the wording's different from my book compared to yours, I think. So the different texts will have different wordings. So they end up fighting, and Benvolio draws his sword and says, "Part, fools, put up your swords. You know not what you do." So there's a famous line. Shakespeare's known for many famous lines from his play. He started these expressions that we use today. So now here comes Tybalt. He's a very cool, calm, collected, very skilled fighter. So he walks up and he says, "What? Art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death." "I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage to part these men with me." "What, drawn, and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have it thee, coward!" And then he takes out his sword, and they start fighting. So then the townspeople start coming out and trying to stop the fight, which is going to end up becoming a problem because the prince or the cops are going to come, and everyone's going to get in trouble. So the citizens, "Clubs, bills, and partisans, strike, beat them down. Down with the Capulets, down with the Montagues." And then out onto the street comes Capulet and his wife. "What noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho!" Oh, a crutch, a crutch! Why call you for a sword? So she's making a joke about how old he is and shouldn't be fighting. So then the Montagues come out. My sword, I say, old Montague is come, and flourishes his blade in spite of me. Thou villain, Capulet, hold me not, let me go. Thou shalt not stir 1 foot to seek a foe. So here comes the prince, and he's going to be very angry, and he's going to deliver his decree. What's going to happen to these people now that they've started yet another fight? Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel, will they not hear? What, ho! You men, you beasts that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away, and you, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon to know our farther pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart. So there it is. That sets up the rest of the story. If these people fight again, they're going to pay with their lives. And as we know, that they will fight again. And that's why we have the story of Romeo and Juliet.